Welcome back. It is 1498. In the last one, we lost Diana, which is honestly a tragedy of the highest. And Grace found out that her husband was cheating on her, and Pedro got left by his wife, and she took all his money. We just have a lot going on here. So let's keep it going. This year, Hector Landgrab and our Tobias are aging up into children. Liberty Landgrab is saying goodbye. She's been alive for a really long time. But yeah, let's roll for the kids. No 9 or 19. Hector. Tobias. Oh, okay. I was like, I don't know how much more I can take. I don't know how much more I can deal with if we keep losing people. So, anyway, moving right along. I think that's it. Is that it? Yeah. The Goths are having lots of babies, are pregnant. We have our new family added here. There's just one guy. And we still have to decide whether or not we want Mortimer to decide to remarry. I won't make that decision, though, until probably like 1500. So maybe next year. It'll still be a year or two before I decide whether or not he's going to get remarried. So let me know what you think about that. And let's hop into the game. Alrighty, so here we are in our smaller family, which is really sad still, but, everyone is trying to mourn and, just move forward as best they can. Of course, Mortimer is now having a midlife crisis. Also, one of the Goth babies was just born, and she survived, and we'll name her Althea. But yes, so Mortimer is having a crisis right now. So he's having a crisis, and I think that that is totally valid for him to start having a crisis after his wife died, because he doesn't really know, like, it's so weird because at the beginning of his life, he was very much like, I'm going to do this, I'm ambitious on my own, I'm going to get what I want on my own, and then as soon as Diana, like, really, not even just when she came into the picture, because yes, he loved her, and yes, he thought of her as, like, a partner, but at first he didn't really, consider her the, like, driving force behind their family. But over time, as she, became this, like, very well-known socialite and started being, like, head of all the parties and head of the social events and leader of the people and, like, lady in waiting and great mother to their children and just all this stuff, like, slowly but surely Mortimer found himself, like, unable to function the way that he used to, because she's his partner. They relied on each other. And so he is finding out very quickly that he is having trouble doing everything by himself. And that's totally valid. Like, this is a new normal that they're going to have to get used to. And so he's just, like, spending a lot of time at work. Obviously, things with the Pretender are about to come to a head next year. And so much stuff is happening. And he's, like, working really hard. But then the kids are running amok. Gabriel's out here making enemies with Hughie. So it's just, like, a lot for Mortimer. He's just, like, not realizing if he can figure things out on his own. And so Mortimer did have a whim to make an enemy, and I was like, well, we need to introduce some of the new kids. So, of course, I haven't given them a makeover yet, which I really should, because they are not in the right colors. But anyway, so they just fought, even though I didn't even tell them to fight, but they fought. And so I'm going to have them become enemies. So it looks like Hughie is going to become enemies with Gabriel, and who knows, maybe that will become a problem as they get older. But for right now, they're just little kids arguing with each other, and they are just going to continue to argue. I'm trying to make it so that they will become enemies, but for some reason they're not doing it. It's kind of confusing to me, but that's fine. Mortimer is back home now from work. I'm sorry if I sound weird. I, like, cannot shake this, like, half cold that I have. Like, I keep, like, alternating between a sore throat and a runny nose, but it, like, never gets any worse than that. But then, like, it just cycles back around. So I don't really know what's going on there, but you'll have to forgive how I sound. But anyway, so Mortimer is here. We're going to actually take PTO. He's already at the top of his career. There's really not much for us to do there. But what I do want to do is have Alexander Goth come over. So Alexander is is here, and so obviously we're not expecting Alexander to come over. He is angry. He is actually one of the two families who is supporting the pretender. So Mortimer is going to come talk to him. Obviously, we remember that in the past, Odegaard has come to Diana to ask for help about persuading his brother, and then also she tried to talk to Constance, but it didn't really go very well. So I'm thinking that in the background, Odegaard has been like working on trying to convince Alexander that this is bad. And as we see the tides kind of turning about the pretender and stuff, Alexander is realizing that maybe this wasn't such a good idea. So he comes to talk to Mortimer to ask for help because he's like, I picked the wrong side. I'm going to, like, my whole family is going to get executed. Like, I have children, I have a wife, I have a sister, and everything is a mess. And so they are just chatting, and it's really not going super well because he's angry, but maybe Mortimer's like, you chose this. This is your bed. You have to lie in it. And Alexander's like, come on, man, help me out. Like, you have to help me. I don't know what to do. Like, what can I do to save my family? Your mother, Cassandra, was my aunt. Like, we're cousins. Aren't they cousins? I think they're cousins. So they're cousins, so he's like, come on, Mortimer, like, for family, like. And so Mortimer is feeling a little sentimental because he did just lose Diana. He also lost his own mother at an early age. Oh my gosh, why does that keep happening, that the kids keep losing their mom at an early age? But anyway, so he's just going to be chatting with Alexander and being like, okay, well, look, here's what we can do. So he's telling Alexander, like, you have to help us, like, come up with a trap or something, some way to get the pretender to stop him from continuing to cause mayhem for the king and all that stuff. So they're, like, plotting and planning about some sort of, like, con where Alexander maybe convinces the pretender to be in a certain place and, like, the knights will arrest him or something like that, so that we can. So in real life, the pretender was executed in 1499. So that's why I'm thinking Alexander can help catch him. So there's that. And then we are going to just check on the children here. I did want to see, like, who do the children have a lot in common with? Who are they good compatibility with? Cassandra really only has good compatibility with Princess Margaret, but it looks like Gabriel has good compatibility with little Randolph here, but he's just walking by and he's not coming to our house, so we'll just kind of ignore him for right now. So yeah, the kids are just chatting, and it's weird because the kids actually have good compatibility, Cassandra and Gabriel, but Gabriel's mean, so he just can't help himself but be mean. So it looks like Pedro has come over, and Pedro probably notices, like, all of the mess. Like, there's a mess that the kids made outside, there's a mess in the hallway, and Pedro kind of comes over and, to see his grandchildren. He's obviously feeling very lonely and sad. His daughter died, his wife left him. His grandchildren are really what he has left besides Grace and her family, which she doesn't have because her husband is infertile. And so Pedro comes over and he kind of just, like, criticizes Mortimer a bit about, like, his parenting, being like, I saw that there's a mess out there, like, the kids are running amok. And Mortimer's like, dude, like, I'm dealing with the law right now. And they haven't really been on that good terms because Pedro kind of blames Mortimer a little bit for Lilith leaving, but it's really not his fault. So anyway, then Pedro's kind of like, today is Eleanor's birthday, right? And Mortimer's like, yes, I knew that. So funny thing is, guys, I didn't remember to put Eleanor's birthday on the spreadsheet. You might have noticed that already. I didn't remember to. So I was like, oh, whoops. And so I rolled for her, and she does survive. She's fine. But I forgot to put her birthday there. So Mortimer forgot her birthday, not me. He forgot her birthday. So he's like, and it's hard, right? He's juggling so much. Everything's going on with the pretender, with work, with his family. He lost his wife. He's got 5 kids to take care of. And he just has a lot going on right now. And so I don't think that he's, like, a bad father. I think that he's having a hard time. He's literally having a crisis. So he's doing his best, but, sometimes things fall through the cracks even when you're trying your best, and everybody needs some help sometimes. But Mortimer's not willing to ask Pedro for help. And who else is there? Like, we have to keep in mind that Mortimer doesn't have a support system. He really doesn't, because he has been the support for Grace and Pedro, but his only support was Diana. He doesn't have a family left after they all died and everything, and so like he doesn't have that, and so that makes him struggle all the more, because he doesn't have his mother's not alive to come and help, or his father, or I guess his grandfather is alive, but he's out in Forgotten Hollow doing vampire things with his ghost wife. I know that some of you have talked about Thomas, and I really think that Thomas, after everything that happened, and I'm sure that he was devastated to hear that, a good number of his family died, but I think that after everything that he had gone through when we were doing his story, is I think he kind of had to accept that there were people that didn't want to be immortal, and that he had to accept that that's their choice, and that he can't make that choice for them, no matter how scared he is. And he had to really just kind of come to terms with that. And honestly, I think that he is just not. I think that he's hiding away in Forgotten Hollow because he wants to avoid getting close to any other family only to lose them. I think that he hasn't completely gotten over it, but he accepts that that is people's choice to live like a normal person. So that's what I think for him, is that he's kind of avoiding the family because he is afraid of getting close to anyone and then losing them. Anyway, so I wanted to come over to the castle, mostly because I wanted to see what time it actually was in my game. But let's talk to the king. So Mortimer has been called before the king, planning with Alexander. They've been, plotting together to catch the pretender, and they were successful. Obviously, Mortimer wasn't directly a part of that, but he was, instrumental in getting Alexander back on their side in coming up with this plan. So the king is very happy. Okay, Mortimer, you don't need to watch him do that. Mortimer, leave the room. But yeah, so Mortimer has been kind of, okay, now he stands up. He goes number 1. Now he wants to sit down and go number 2. Like, you already went to the bathroom. Why do you need to go get, no, Mortimer. I'm so confused. And then he goes number 1 again. Like, what are you doing? What, is this Sim glitching? Like, what's he doing? Anyway, so yes, Mortimer was instrumental in helping out with things, and so the king has called him to talk to him and to reward him. Actually, should we give Mortimer another title? Do you think maybe he should get another title for his help? What's above Baron? I have to check. I didn't think about that until just this moment. So let me know what you think. Should we change his title? We'll think about it. It can be like let me know if you think yes, and we would increase his title by 1. I know that doesn't really happen in real life, but okay, he would be a Viscount if he increased his title. So let me know if you think that. Obviously, in real life, they would just compound titles on top of each other, like he would be both. So maybe he could keep his Baron title and give it to Tobias. But in my head, I'm like, okay, well, let's just increase by 1 or something. But let me know what you think about that. So we'll come back to that later. And so anyway, because the king caught the pretender, he's hosting a big party. He's inviting everyone, including the Dakras, because he wants to kind of show them that they made the wrong choice. So everyone is here, and I'm trying to get them to come inside. They don't want to listen to me. It's fine. Everything's fine. So yeah, everyone is hanging out, having a good time, and trying to celebrate the king and how he has successfully, captured the pretender, and that everything is going to be stable again in the country. So there is that. And so we are just going to chat with everyone. It's so funny to see everyone in red and then us in yellow, the Landgrabs in white, and the Goths in black. There's no families left that are different colors in our family. But that's all going to change because we have 3 sons. So that is going to change. Well, no, because they're all going to be yellow still. Okay. Good point. Did we marry any daughters into towny families? If we, remind me, if we marry our daughter into a townie family, that townie family can get a different color besides red. We'll do that. Because that's what I would normally do if I brought in a new family. I would give them a new color. But since these are all townie families, I don't want my kids to then be wearing red. So, but Grace doesn't count because she was already a townie. And Lavinia died, so that was not relevant. Okay, yeah. Remind me when the time comes, if I forget, to give them a new family color. Because we haven't had a new family color in a really long time. We have so many colors available now. Anyway, so Pink Sugar Pie, you're going to be happy about this. I know you've been talking about it for a couple of videos. Is, yes, Grace. So Grace, okay, whether or not Robert is actually cheating, Grace thinks he is. Is he? Who knows? Maybe he's not. Maybe they're just friends. But she thinks he's cheating. And so she's like, whatever. And we know that William is trying to take his brother's place. So William and Grace have started a little something something. Oh my God, Pedro just saw them. He just walked up here for no reason to see them woohooing. So Grace and William are, doing a little something something. And so, yes, Pink Sugar Pie has been talking about how Grace and William have chemistry this whole time. And I was like trying so hard not to say anything. But yes, they are doing a thing. And William is kind of doing it because he wants to take his brother's spot and he's already like close with the Baron. And then also, we have Grace, who is mad that her husband is cheating, if he is or not. But also they haven't been able to have a child, and there's like mounting pressure on Grace because she hasn't had a child. And they always blamed the woman first back then. I mean, seriously. But so Grace is under a lot of pressure right now, and so they are dealing with that. And she just, they just started a little something, something. So Grace and William are having an affair. Will she get pregnant? Who knows? Will she try to pass the baby off as Robert's? Will she leave Robert for William? What's going to happen? The Dockra family still was supporting the Pretender when he was caught, which is a big blunder for them. Okay, so we're going to see more about that next year. I'm excited. But yes, so anyway, like I said, Gabriel has good compatibility with Randolph, so I said, well, I might as well call Randolph over and have them chat a bit before Tobias ages up soon. But yeah, so there's that. And Gabriel, if you could just go and chat with Randolph, because I asked you to, please and thank you. So yeah, Mortimer has a lot of work going on right now because he's dealing with a lot and trying to make sure that he can get everything settled. We'll see because I don't think even if he got a title, they wouldn't necessarily have the title ceremony right away or anything. So I think that I can wait for some feedback on whether or not we should increase or give Mortimer also a Viscount title. But yeah, so where are you going? Come back, man. Anyway, so we are going to just have the kids chatting with each other. Oh, he's tense. But yes, so they're just going to enjoy each other's company a little bit. Gabriel is probably going to... Oh, that thing just ran through them. Gabriel is probably going to have trouble making friends because he's mean. That's definitely going to be an issue for him because he can't help himself. He keeps just saying mean things to people and then they don't like him. So I think Gabriel's going to have a harder time than his father did. But I think that makes for a really interesting story. And I'm actually really excited about it. I like having nice Sims, but I also like the drama of messy Sims. So Gabriel, I think, is going to be a lot of fun if he survives. I'm trying really hard not to get attached because for some reason it just doesn't work out for me. But it actually kind of did work out for me with Mortimer because I really did like Mortimer better than I liked Thomas, which is awful, but it's true. And so, okay, yeah, now the conversation is unpleasant. Yeah, that's because of you, Gabriel. But yeah, so I'm excited to see what happens there. So we are going to cook another birthday cake for Tobias. He is aging up into a child. We're going to have 3 children and 2 toddlers in the household. So there's that. What day is today? Okay, so for me, tomorrow you're going to find out that Diana passed away. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, guys. It's not my fault. The dice. But yeah, so we're just going to have him bake the birthday cake. Why do you keep coming upstairs? Okay, they did the thing about sinks where you can say if a sink is for the kitchen or the bathroom. They need to now do it for counters so that he doesn't go all the way upstairs. So anyway, he's just going to finish baking the cake. Then we're going to have a little thing for Tobias. Mortimer is trying. He's really, really trying that to like make sure his kids are okay. He realized after he forgot about Eleanor's birthday, like he was like, okay, Tobias's birthday is coming up next. Like he's trying hard, and it's just not like it's too much for him. Like I think it's too much for him, you guys. So I am considering remarrying him just because I like the drama of a stepmother. But I'll also wait to see what you guys think tomorrow when that video comes out. But yeah, so I'm thinking that Mortimer at least realizes that he can't do things on his own. Whether or not he will, you know, whether or not he will remarry, he definitely needs help. So Tobias just rolled to be a geek. So I think that that's a good one. That's definitely something that we can work with. So he's a geek, and yeah, so anyway, I think Mortimer is realizing he can't do everything on his own. He needs help. He at least needs to hire someone, if not remarry. So I think that he is dealing with that. He just can't do it all, you know, and that there's no shame in that. He's got 5 kids, a big deal job. Like he's got a lot going on. So I don't blame him for not being able to take on everything. And even though he's like super ambitious and he thinks he can handle everything, that's why he's been struggling so much this year. Is he's been struggling because he keeps trying to do everything himself because he thinks that he's like can do it all, and he's realizing he can't. And so that's a tough pill to swallow for him, especially after spending his whole life being able to do it all and being able to push through and get everything he needs. So that is definitely something that has made it hard for him to accept that he needs help, but he's there now. So let's give the kids a quick makeover. So we have little Tobias, who is a geek, and we're going to just change his outfits really quick. I also still haven't given Eleanor any outfits because I was like, oh, I'll just do it together. So anyway, here we go for Tobias, and then here we go for Eleanor. I just wish I could change the color of like the barrettes or the ribbons and stuff in their hair because it's not the right color. Pink is not our color. Yellow is our color. But anyway, let's just give her some outfits, and then we'll call that good for our family. Getting some new makeovers for the kids who had birthdays. And then let me look at my list here. We also have Hector Landgrab becoming a child and joining our club. We did have to make a new club. We have over 50 Sims in the club, which is going to start being a problem. But I don't know what I'm going to do if we get up to 80. I'm going to have to start not having the townies marry each other. But yeah, so Hector, Tobias aged up. We saw that. Liberty Landgrab died. Eleanor Larkin became a toddler. Althea Goth was born and became an infant. William Docra finally became a young adult, so, you know. Amelia Peacock has become an actual adult along with her husband, Luden. Sybil Peacock has become a child and joined the club. And then Ingeleaf Gamal is now a toddler. So that is everybody who had birthdays and stuff. I'm just going to go through and do all of that. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this part. Let me know what you think about the title thing. And, yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.